Okay, today is FFB show and tell. Okay, today we'll talk about gods and their weapons, and of course some other stuff like the popular creatures right now in standards. Okay, first we'll start off with gods. So right here we have 5 gods, starting from the blue, Asa. Okay, you will see this. It's like in everyday's deck, mono blue devotion. Of course, the red god. Okay, black god. In case you are not familiar, you can actually pause and actually take a look at the enlarged cards. Okay, green and white god. Okay, and their respective weapons. Okay, so in almost every deck, you'll see at least a god or their weapon. So you'll find either a god or a weapon in any of the deck that you play against. Okay, so today we'll talk about how to handle them. For gods, there are 2 modes. First is the creature mode, and then is the enchantment mode. First, you must fulfill this devotion thing, which must be 5 and above. Okay, so there are a lot of devotion decks running around. So they have to fulfill the devotion. So when they fulfill the devotion, it is a creature. If they don't, it's not. It's just an enchantment. Okay, so there are some cards that can actually remove them when they are in the creature mode. Okay, so over here we have all the answers. Okay, there are a lot more answers, but these are the seems to me are more playable. Okay, than example, drown in field, executioner. There's one card called executioner something one, executioner swing or something. So these are more playable. Although quad sickness is somehow debatable, but you might see this in mono black devotion that plays a lot of swamps. Okay, so first, number one on the list is of course Celestial Charm. Okay, as you can see, you can exile every god because all are at least 5 and above. Okay, one key thing about gods is actually they are indestructible, so you can't really rough them. You can't really kill them using combat damage or even burn spell. So first thing come to mind will be exile. So Celestial Charm as an instant, okay, and it has other use like 2/2 white knight or even a pump +2/+2 is obviously the first choice in this. Okay, second choice would be Curse of the Swine. That's what I feel. Okay, but obviously you still have to deal with the 2/2 green ball that you leave behind. Okay, the third will be Chain to the Rock. Okay, obviously it's like a path to exile, source to plowshare kind of thing. You exile the guy for 1 mana, but first this is enchantment. It's not an instant speed removal. So it's when it's an enchantment, there's a chance that the gods will come back. Okay. So lastly, the sickness, like what I say, you can play in mono black devotion deck. Maybe probably in the sideboard. If you think that the gods are very irritating. Okay. Then we have creatures that remove gods. Okay. Number one on the list, of course, is Angel of Serenity, because it has other uses also. Okay, it can actually reanimate your own creatures also, bring them back from the graveyard. Okay, next, the very underplayed Lumina as Primordial. Okay, so basically it's a Swords to Plowshare, a very expensive one, a 7 mana Vigilance 4/7 creature. Okay, but this can effectively remove a god at its creature's form. Okay, and of course we have Magician Priest. Okay, at 3 mana. Okay, it's 1/3 of Angel of Serenity. Okay, the only planeswalker that makes this list is Liliana of the Dark Realm. Notice it's -3. Target creature get +X or -X until end of turn, where X is the number of swamps you control. So basically, it's the only planeswalker that can remove God. Okay, at his creature form. Okay, so the second class, the first class removal, which can also remove their weapons. okay, are this sphere, number one on the list. This sphere can basically remove anything on this list, all 10 of them, anything. Okay, but it is like an O-ring in this case because it can only remove one copy, okay, of any of this, because those are legendary unless you want to exile yours also, then you find two copies. Okay, this is the most playable and it can actually answer everything. Then merciless eviction. Wow, this is so sick. Okay, because it can actually remove both the god and the weapon when you choose the exile or enchantment mode. Okay, this is probably played in a sideboard or control deck, or maybe some guys they like to mainboard it, but this is not in multiples, so you will rarely see this. Oops, it's gone. Okay, so next, Angelic Edict. This is a common card. 5 mana is a bit expensive, but basically you can remove everything, so you can actually consider this as sideboard. So the best sideboard card for green should be this, Fade into Antiquity. Exile target artifact or enchantment. Basically you can remove also everything on this list. Okay, next, very unusual stuff like Action Rider. Okay, basically it just exile any target permanent, which can remove everything. And maybe you guys have forgot about this thing called Detain. So basically Detain stop everything except for the passive ability. Example, passive ability like creatures you control get +1/+1. So this is like a very weak answer to all of this, but this can attack. And you can actually detain other stuff other than uh, gods and their weapons. Okay, next we'll talk about some of the popular creatures in standard right now. Okay, first row is the popular creatures in their respective colors, and second row is the popular spells, and third are the honorable mentions. Okay, first we have Master of Wave. It's recently it's very popular in mono blue devotion deck where you can make a lot of blue elemental creature tokens, okay, which get farmed by this slot. But one weakness of this is once you remove the lot, okay, all the elemental tokens are gone unless you have two of these. Okay, so next for red is Storm Breath Dragon. Okay, so basically it's protection from white and the monstrosity is actually quite good. Okay, because even if you Sphinx Revelation, I can actually minus off the life gain from your spell and I become a 7/7. So protection from white means is protection from Danger of Serenity and of course the more common Azorus Charm or even D-Sphere. Okay, so this is a very good card for red. So for black, well, you will see this very easily. Okay, it's a 4 mana 6/6. Okay, and its ability is you can treat like a removal, 4 mana removal for every turn. Okay, but anyway 4 mana 6/6 is quite sick and it got wings, it can fly. Okay, for green, oh this guy. Actually there are a lot of green, very good green cards. Creatures cards. Okay, but this caught my attention because it has flash and it can be bestow. Okay, that means you have an enchantment that can be flashed in. Okay, so opponent can make some very logical blocks, but after that when you flash in this, his face will change, and you can actually play this post draft, okay, as a 4/2 for 3 mana. So this is quite a card to represent green right now. For white, wow, this is 1 mana with relevant ability, protection from multi-color. Okay, so protection meaning it has protection from Voice of Resurgence, Boros Reckoner, okay, even Obsidian, the more popular creatures. Okay, and it is used in sideboards in Esper deck right now. Okay, so for the blue spell, I think the spell to represent blue should be Dissolve. Okay, a simple counter target spell and scry 1. Okay, for red is Museum Mortar, is always have been Museum Mortar. Okay, 2 mana deal 4 damage with the option of overloading. Okay, black, okay, heroes down 4. In case you don't know, this is murder. With an add-on ability, you have the option of destroying planeswalker also. So it costs about 10 ticks now. Okay, it's about 100 times of murder the price. Okay, but you'll see this in multiple in mono black devotion and Esper control. Okay, for green, oh, this is not a spell, but I don't think green has any very good spells. Probably creatures are his best spell. So this guy, Silver Carotid, okay, is actually a very good turn to play. Okay, first thing is like a fast save. He has hex proof and he has the ability of Burst of Paradise. You can add any mana of any color to your mana pool. And because it's 0/3, it can actually block off a lot of aggro decks that like to use, you know, 2 power creatures. Okay, for white, this is a very underplayed card, Last Breath. Okay, if you like you know, instant speed exile card that can deal with aggro, maybe this is the card for you. Okay, this is very underplayed. Okay, some decks that don't care about life totals are the control decks or even the mid-range deck. Okay, so other creatures that sees a lot of play is Sterling, first on the list. Second, Blood Baron of Viscopa. Okay, Obsidian is Hydra, and of course, Nightveil Spectre. Okay, so most on this list is have you know, protection from certain stuff. Example, Italy protection from almost everything except, you know, fighting needle. Even this Depthus Pupil. Okay, I can only find these two to actually stop Italy right now in standard. Okay, Blood Baron protection from white and black. So the second ability is almost irrelevant. It's almost irrelevant, but sometimes it just, you know, you just turn on the second ability. Okay, and it has life link, so basically you can move towards your second ability. Okay, but most of the removals are in white and black. Of course, it's weak to sacrifice effect and of course round effect. Okay, so Obsidian protection from sorcery speed removal, because basically you can just, you know, blink it end of turn and return it beginning of your upkeep. Okay, this Hydra basically is just you know, just a bear. It just grow. One good thing is it has trample, so it's not scared of a certain one. Okay, so Nightveil Spectre. Wow, this is black. It has protection from Doomblade. Right, and it can actually block off aggro with its 3 toughness. And the ability is actually very good because you get to use your opponent's cards. Okay, so probably that's all for today. If you like to see more of any stuff, remember to let me know. Okay, if not, thanks for watching.